Hello, everyone. This is your host, Jolly J, Carolina Boy Sportscast. I'm here with amazing LFA superstar 2-0 Bryce Woerner. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. I'm glad to be here on your podcast. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming to my podcast. You're definitely my first interview, and I'm excited to have you as here co-hosting with me today.
Yeah,
So how you feel excited for your fight coming up?
I feel great. I got my weight all in. I got my training out. Hard work's done. About being patient, often, and get there.
Yeah, I definitely been following your socials and stuff like that, and been following you and your team, and like National MMA. I've been following you since like your amateur career fighting out of Clarksville. So I didn't know if I could bring it up here or not, but I'm excited. I followed you since like earlier career. So
Yeah, you're bro. You're an OG. I remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was earlier in my amateur career is when I first talked to you, and that was forever ago. Now I'm a pro. Got pro.
yes.
So yeah, you're a OG dog.
Yeah, I was like, man, I gotta get him on this podcast, how to get my podcast loop before I get to your level. I'm like, man, I gotta follow his career all the way through. Following since Aries, Wild Side. So I'm just like, man, this is insane. So
Yeah, whenever I'm in the UFC, I'll give me a shout, bro. I'd love to jump on anytime.
most definitely. I definitely get you on my podcast then. Well, I know LFA, I feel like this is sorry, 2-0 so far. You're 1-0 in LFA. You had a dominant debut in LFA. It was amazing. I loved it. I was hyped the whole entire fight, your first fight, that exciting. So I feel like this next fight, I don't really know your opponent to be exact. I probably should research him. I don't really know him as well, but I really don't want to give like key points away of your fight game. What do you feel like so far will be like your key to this match, to this fight at all?
I think just being myself, really. I mean, that's all I ever really do, and it's got me where I'm at. And I believe on any given night, I could beat the best in the world, and I could be the best in the world. So I just got to show up, be present, and be myself. And I think my skills will speak for themselves because there's not an area that I don't feel I can exceed at in this match and in general.
Yeah, your fight game is definitely rounded. Stand up is phenomenal. I always talk about how you're methodical with it, and when they get you on the ground, it's just I feel bad when they get you on the ground. It's not good for them at all. It's not going to work. You're at National MMA. You have like the top trainers. You have Dustin Ortiz. You have your whole entire completely fight team fighting on this card. So your training partners are insane with you right now. That's just awesome. So
Yeah, we're all getting after it. We've been getting after it for the last couple months, and I love. It's nice fighting by yourself too, but it's a different energy and it's a different vibe when everyone's fighting on the same card and we're all grinding together, cutting weight together, preparing for the same date. So the vibe at the gym's just been intense, smart work, hard work, and now, like I said, the hard work's done. We're just cutting weight, really.
yeah, so I can see it now. I couldn't imagine cutting weight. So you're amazing flyweight. So I'm just like, no, it's gotta be hard. Like,
Not-
what is it?
It's not fun, but it's mandatory.
What would you feel like is probably the hardest to cut weight of doing? Like, what is like your main thing, like main goal?
What do you mean?
Like, basically, just what is your niche of how to cut weight the best?
Well, I grew up cutting weight just because I was a wrestler. So
Yep.
I good cutting weight and I've cut weight a lot when I was younger. But cutting weight like a wrestler as an MMA fighter is not smart, because in wrestling, you're not cutting as much weight and you wrestle matches like sometimes multiple times a week. So you can't really do that in MMA because you're cutting more weight than you would in a wrestling match. So I understood how to cut weight from wrestling, but now I'm a lot more scientific with it. I had a nutritionist a couple fights ago, and I was able to gain a lot of knowledge from him. But really, I'm just super disciplined on my diet leading up. Super disciplined, and as the fight gets closer, I'm eating less and less, but I'm still eating. And then also the water load. Like right now, I'm water loading. Uh, been
Oh man.
Yeah, I've been water loading the last couple days. So tomorrow I'll start sweating all the water I've been loading, and Thursday morning, and I'll get to 120, 126 because I have a pound.
That's amazing to me. I try to so at one point I get to the point I try to cut weight, but it's not gonna work for me. I can't do it. It's not gonna happen. It's not.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm at 145 all the way. So
Yeah, it's fun.
So, like, in your area, what do you how do you feel sometimes whenever you pass the F&M Bank Arena whenever you're not fighting and you know you're about to fight? Like, what is that feeling? I'm not trying to get you psyched out, but what is that feeling to feel every single time you see it?
Man, just excitement. Excitement that I get to go and do what I love in front of people I love, in front of people that support me like yourself, and just show up, be myself. I'm a competitor. I love to compete, and being able to fight at a place like F&M is amazing. It's amazing arena, and on top of that, I'm from Clarksville, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I remember when they were building that arena, and, I remember I drove past it when they were building it, and I was with one of my buddies, and I was like, "I'm gonna fight in there one day," and, sure enough, it came full circle, and, I get not only do I get to fight in F&M Arena, I get to do it for LFA, so super excited every time I, drive by it, I'm just thinking about putting on a show.
yeah. I was LFA. I'm really excited. LFA came to Clarksville. It's Clarksville was definitely rising. I feel like the only place that had like a MMA event was the Wilma Rudolph Center, and that was
Yeah.
like the first one I ever seen here. And that's what got me hooked on MMA.
What did I fought at the Wilma Rudolph Center, were you there that night
That
when I
was me. I met you there.
was it?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit, okay,
Yeah,
damn.
I go way back.
Yeah, I remember, meeting you at Nashville Underground, like, a couple Nashville Undergrounds ago, and, that's what I remember. I didn't know I met you at Wilma Rudolph. That's crazy. That was, like, forever ago.
Absolutely. That's what kinda got me, like, definitely on the fight scene itself. I always loved sports, but MMA's always been my niche. When I saw you there and I saw a lot of fights, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it was, the Angel was it Angel Productions, I believe?
Yeah, Angel
Yep.
Fight Pr
Yeah, so I've been following your career since way back because I feel like there's always this one fighter that I feel like so because you have the best values, you have your Christian values, definitely gonna bring it up on here because glory to God every way and every single time you give it to him, every time one of your fights, so I'm gonna definitely give it to you every single time. And so this is gonna be the fighter right here that you people have to watch out for.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. With God on my side, with God with me, who can be against me?
Absolutely. I feel like I do feel like a lot and especially national MMA, the gym has a strong values, and I feel like it's the best place for you. And I feel like for every single fighter should be at is at Nashville MMA because their values is all glory to good God. Every time I hear a fight, that's what happens every single time.
Yeah, pretty much, and, the culture is just getting better and better. Um, I've had people, that I know in the gym that, were non-believers, and I don't push my faith on anybody, but I am very,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm very vocal with my faith because God is everything to me. And I've had multiple people, from the gym become full on Christians. So God is working in that building, in that gym, and every day I pull up, I ask God and I pray before I train to bless the training, bless the building, and He does, bro. And we're just constantly growing, and it's always glory to God. Definitely on my part, I'll always give glory to Him, 100%.
Yeah, I do always. I feel like I'm always jumping on the hype train of national MMA every single time I see your fight team, though. So I hate to bring them up in your interview, though, but I just feel like it's kind of like I feel like you wouldn't mind it at all. So it's
No, not at all, bro. That's my team. I love to talk about them. I love to that's my team. That's where I'm at every day, grinding, putting the work in, getting better, so I'm able to put on performances like I have.
Yeah, because I feel like so far this team's gonna be the most dominant team in MMA, especially in the UFC. Because obviously LFA, y'all clearing the whole house. Like y'all go clear the whole entire house. I some fighters I didn't know. From the National MMA gym I didn't know,
Yeah,
but
we
I
have
definitely
some.
gonna have to get it.
We're a young team. We're building. Our fight team is building. So we got some young guys on the come up too that you probably haven't heard of that you'll hear about soon.
Oh, I definitely want to meet a lot of the whole entire team exactly itself. But it's kind of like it's. What do you feel? I know the LFA is like one of the top productions. Um, So, do you feel like strongly I know, of course, I know they since LFA moved to Vice TV, it's no longer on UFC Fight Pass. Hopefully, I feel like probably Dana White are probably still watching the show itself,
Yeah,
especially since you're gonna be
yeah. I watched some stuff about Ed Soares, the owner. I've watched some interviews of his because I was just curious about it. And they're still a feeder to the UFC. They're always going to be a feeder to the UFC. They're still the biggest promotion under the UFC, and still the biggest feeder. It I think Ed Soares, the owner, was just saying that like parted from UFC Fight Pass because UFC Fight Pass wanted to own the rights to their content and to their footage, and
Okay.
they just didn't want to do that. But they still he explained that they still have a great relationship with the UFC, and he still talks to Mick Maynard and the matchmakers all the time. So uh as far as being a feeder, I don't think anything will change. It's still LFA, you know what I mean? Everybody knows what LFA is.
Absolutely, and I know one time, I was trying to get your interview before, but life happens. We're always busy. Did you watch the UFC card that came up this weekend or
I
last weekend
did.
or no?
Yeah, Australia, yeah, I did.
Absolutely, I'm really excited they went to Paramount Plus because those subscriptions are pretty high.
I enjoyed not paying for it and just being able to the main card, no issue. Definitely.
Ab- yeah, absolutely. I just watched on Paramount Plus, and so what was you out of watching UFC and coming up on your LFA card? I know it's just a random. I'm sorry, I'm probably just asking random questions, but
No,
what do
shit,
you
we're just having a conversation. It's being recorded.
absolutely? So what do you feel like how do you feel like that motivation would go for you if like if as part of, like they give you the call like and you see it and you feel like that's me right there. What is that feeling to you every time you watch UFC?
Sorry, say that one more time, you cut out.
Yeah, my bad. So like when we watch LFA this weekend, watch the UFC this weekend, and you have your fight coming up. What did that like? What that feeling do for you? To say that's going to be it right there. What was that feeling for you?
Every single time I watch the UFC, I just can't wait till I'm there until um what's the announcer's name? My mind's blanking. Bruce Buffer. I can't wait to have Bruce Buffer in my face screaming my name. You know, I visualize it, and I can foresee it like it's going to happen every time I watch the UFC. So I'm excited for that, and it will come, God willing. And I even when UFC came to Nashville, my manager had some people fighting on that card, so he was able to get me backstage with all the UFC media and like I got to meet everybody and it was so sick, bro. It was awesome. And I felt like I belonged in the room, you know, which I did. And I will be there repping the UFC banner soon enough.
I definitely see it. So of course, I probably just went blank a little bit in the situation right here. So for your opponent, so was you able to like probably just see your opponent a little bit like watch videos or something like that of his fights and stuff like that kind of just game it a little bit without giving away
Yeah.
secrets. I don't want to give away secrets on this podcast. So
No, you're good, man. Yeah, I've watched some film on him. He's good. He's a game opponent. I'm taking him seriously. He's got some power on him. So I respect his power. I'm not gonna go out there being sloppy and stuff, but I think my skills and my skill set is just gonna be too much. I think my range is gonna be too much, and I think my fight IQ is gonna be dividends in this fight. Like I said, he's no slouch. He's a tough guy, but plan is to go in there and make him look amateur, make him look like he doesn't belong in there, even though he is good.
did you have? I know you see it sometimes in UFC. And you have guys that kind of use their social media balance before the fight. Did you do that some so far? I haven't seen it so much, but have you did it with him or something like that? Have contacted him or nothing like that or no?
No, no, I've never talked to this dude. I'll see him. I'll see him for the first time Thursday at weigh-ins and face-offs.
It's gonna be insane. I can't wait. I'm gonna try to make it to face-offs just to see you there and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man.
try to definitely try to see you after the fight. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I can't go back there because if so, but
Hey, I may be able to pull some strings, get you back there. We'll see what happens.
hey, I definitely got to see because I know that fight. I'm really excited for your fight coming up because I feel to this is me just I really hate to speak things like past existence because you, I feel like you don't see it that way because you just give it to God and let it be in His plan. But I feel like I definitely know the fight's gonna go well, but I feel like this could be it. Like this is like gonna be like the full calling of like hopefully Contender Series happens, like or something
Possi
like that, or Ultimate
po
Fighter.
um, possibly, I have been able to make a name for myself throughout my amateur career and now my pro career. So people are starting to catch on and know who I am, and I am a prospect on people's radar. So I'll have the eyes on me. You know what I mean? It's just my job to go out there and perform. And I think if I go and perform, that call could be soon. I don't know if it'll be after this fight, if it'll be three more fights, four more fights, one more fight, but I'll be ready. I'll be ready regardless.
I know when you mentioned you definitely made a name in your amateur career. The fight that I'm trying to recall, was the European guy who was like he was like number one. Was he like number one flyweight European fight? He was, you
No,
beat him.
it yeah, Alex Holm, he was the number 3, flyweight in Europe. Uh, that was my last amateur fight.
Yeah, I had to watch that. I had to watch that on video itself. That I didn't get to go up that one. So I had to bring it up. I definitely gonna bring it up. I didn't know when to fit it. I was like, you know what? He's talking about his amateur. I'm gonna fit it in here because it's that fight. Definitely, I was excited. I was like, he needs to go pro. Like this is it. Like there's no for reason for like amateurs. You like all glories go to them because amateurs like they're pro guys fighting amateur leagues in that situation. But for you, I was like, he's got to go. Like like so.
Yeah, that was the plan to do that last, amateur fight against Alex and then go pro. Cause dude, that was like you said, that was a pro level fight, even though it was amateur. We should have got paid for that because we went.
Yes.
Uh, but that was to this date, that was my toughest opponent. That dude is a killer, and I'll probably see him in the UFC. You know, I have big expectations for him. I'm sure I'll see him later on down the road because he was like I said, he was my hardest, my toughest fight to date, and that was amateur. That kid was fucking badass.
Yeah, that when I watched that fight online, I was nervous and I was like, "Shit, this is not good." Like, because it was to the point it was nail biter. It was like back and forth the whole entire way. Of course, she took over. Like, you figured it out. Like, it was at the first round. Like, you know what? I got him. Like, there because there's always a game bred in the situation. That situation. I'm like, there he is. He's got it now.
Yeah, I was able to adapt really. After the third round, we went into the championship rounds. The fourth and fifth round, I started to mix my wrestling in, and that American wrestling got to him. You know, they ain't
Oh,
wrestling like in England, like here in America, and so I started wrestling them, and that's what ultimately got me the win because we were very close on the feet, like going like you said, tit for tat on the feet. But once I mixed the wrestling in, I was able to put a gap in between us.
yeah. That I would say your wrestling team that you came from in high school was like is the top wrestling team still. So
Yeah, man, we had a good team. Super grateful for my days wrestling, and even before I was wrestling in high school, I wrestled for an amazing like club team in middle school. So like I've been around tough coaches and tough competitors for wrestling even before I was started fighting.
perfect. I know. That's probably probably backwards in the interview, but what is I know you have your Christian values, but what is what gave you like the I want to fight? I know, like, I guess you had a past of like, yeah, of course you had your school and stuff like that, fighting high school, but what is like what says I want to fight in MMA?
It's a good question. Really, man, just the way I grew up. I grew up really rough. Like with my brothers, I'm the middle child, and I got 3 other brothers, and we just fought like my whole life. We just fought. Um, and I was a troubled kid growing up. I got into a lot of trouble, a lot. I had anger issues and shit. So excuse my language, but I had anger
That's all
issues,
good.
and so like I would, my first instinct when I got frustrated a lot of times was to fight. So a lot just throughout my whole childhood, I was fighting. I was fighting in school. I was fighting my brothers. So being in a fight was nothing new to me at all, and I was good at it. I was winning. You know what I was always a smaller guy, always a smaller guy, and I still always won. So I knew I was gifted in fighting itself. Grew up fighting with my brothers and just in school and stuff like that. And then I started wrestling, and it was able to use that as an outlet, and was a super like got pretty good at wrestling, did good there. And so once I started to compete in wrestling, I knew at the end of the day, whether I'm going to be a wrestler or a fighter, I'm going to compete. You know, this is what I love. This is what I'm good at. This is the gift that God has given me is to compete one on one.
So that's so so I would say this is me just making like a weird joke. So the Raging Cajun name came along because you had to fight your brothers.
You can,
Hey. So winning, it's kind of like if you're good at it, you might as well keep doing it. So that's kind of awesome though, because I always because usually people do interviews, they don't really ask about, like, just personal, because sometimes it's always been hard to get into that. So for me, I like
Yeah.
to know, like, because what builds a fighter, because I never was able to, like, get involved in interview a fighter with, but, like, I just wanna know what build Bryce Woerner. So the Raging Cajun. So I'm really glad he was able to get, like, especially to my listeners, express that of how what created you, and it's kinda awesome that you did that for me. I appreciate
And
you.
just that's just long story short, you know what I mean? Um, I haven't always been the man I am now. Like, I grew up getting into a lot of trouble because my older brother had got into a lot of trouble going through juveniles and stuff like that growing up. And that was like, I looked up to my older brother, like every little brother does. So I
Yeah.
ended up following uh footsteps he did. So I was getting in a lot of trouble in middle school and high school. And I've been to like some juvenile places that I didn't belong and stuff like that. So I've been in an environment of hostility a lot. So I'm very comfortable in chaos, and I'm very comfortable in the uncomfortable. And as bad as it was at the time and as much as it sucked, God put me through those things and it built me to who I am now. And now I get to express and be a fighter for a bigger purpose, to give glory to him, to God willing, be able to provide for my family, inspire my son and stuff like that. So all those bad things that happened when I was a child led me to where I'm at now. So thank God.
Like, I know you mentioned your son, like, your son's, like, he's, like, newborn this year. It's well, I think late earlier on last year or something like that, but you've been focusing on everything, fighting, father life, and, of course, occupations are always come a thing. Like, you've been, like, verging all together really well, which is awesome. That's very motivating to me. So,
That's God, bro. Day I put my trust in God, and I gotta show up for my family. So every day I miss training, every day that I'm not living up to what I should be doing and what I can be, then I'm failing my child, I'm failing my marriage, I'm failing God, I'm failing myself. So I gotta show up. It's a grind, it's hard. Nothing good is easy. You know what I mean? So that's the way I see it.
yeah, definitely. Whenever you mention, like you said, you're calm. You said you thrive in chaos. Watching your fights, you do thrive in chaos. So it's like, and that's you don't, especially when you mentioned, like, at first time LFA. It's like of course you fought in, like, Aries and stuff like that as well. Like, those are in National Underground. So those are like top tier, like, regionals. Like, I guys are coming from UFC out of there. So to me, like, people, if they slouch in Aries or National Underground, they're missing out. They have no idea what they're talking about at all. So there's killers that come out of there,
Yeah.
and when you fought LFA, it's like you're calm. There wasn't, like, any, like, hesitation at all starting off, like, at all.
Thank you, bro. I just like where I belong. I belong in these professional um, venues and these professional promotions because that's the level that I compete at. That's the level I am and the level that I hold myself to. So I think I'm gonna grow out of these regional promotions and stuff. And when I fight for someone like LFA, I feel like I belong, and I feel like I'm even gonna outgrow them and get to the UFC. So like, um, fighting for LFA, it was just amazing experience to be able to, it's like a step down from the UFC. So it was super cool. And, I felt like I belonged, and those are the type of promotions that I want to continue to fight for, is those real professional high level promotions.
Perfect. Well, man, I really hate to hold you up this long. You got a busy life, so I feel bad holding you up this long, man. So I don't know if it's
Nah,
so
you good, man.
so like so what is after you're out of someone, if you can call someone out in LFA, and you studied up some of the fighters in your weight class of any names, anything like that at all?
Not really, to be honest. My manager does most of that. He's always the one lining them up. I know the names of some, like, guys in the weight class that I've noticed that are, like, really good, I'll probably end up fighting in the future. Um, I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but I have done research. Um, but yeah, no one off the top of my head. My manager is real good about getting me my next fight.
Yeah, Ruby, correct? Ruby CE is the correct terminology of it, the brand
Yeah,
itself of your manager? Alright, perfect. Yeah, because I realize a lot of national MMA guys coming out of Ruby, and I feel like never met him, but he seemed like he's a great manager because he has all of y'all on the LFA card. So
yeah, he's the man. Steve Swedish is the man.
absolutely, but so I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on my podcast, man. I appreciate for, like, let my listeners listen to you Carolina boys, and hopefully I know I'm definitely come to that fight. I definitely gotta come to it and see you there as well. And hopefully we get an interview afterwards and definitely talk to you after the fight. That'd be amazing. I appreciate you. Anything from me, man?
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you for having me. Anytime. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, man.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you. This is Bryce Woerner, Raging Cajun, Carolina boys. Appreciate you.